It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This timeless quote from the Stoic philosopher Epictetus captures the essence of Stoicism. The understanding that while we may not have control over the events in our lives, we have complete control over how we respond to them. Now imagine this. What if you could apply this wisdom to deal with one of the most challenging types of people in your life, the narcissist? Whether it's a boss who belittles you, a family member who manipulates you, or a friend who drains your energy, Stoicism offers a mental toolkit to help you not just survive these difficult encounters, but thrive in them. In today's video, we'll dive deep into how you can use Stoic principles to navigate relationships with narcissists, helping you build a fortress of peace, resilience, and personal freedom. You'll learn practical strategies to keep your emotional energy intact, safeguard your mental health, and cultivate a sense of calm that no external chaos can disrupt. And here's the most important part. If you're watching this video, you've already taken a critical first step. You're different from the majority. You've chosen to invest in yourself, to seek out knowledge that can make your life better. So I invite you to stay with me throughout this journey. Don't skip any part of this video, because what you'll learn here could change the way you approach not only narcissists, but every difficult situation in your life. Understanding the nature of a narcissist. Before we jump into Stoic strategies, let's first understand who we're dealing with. A narcissist is someone who has an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, and often lacks empathy for others. They create an illusion of superiority to mask their own insecurities and vulnerabilities. While they may appear confident on the surface, beneath that facade, there's often a fragile ego that's easily threatened. Narcissists thrive on controlling others, emotionally, mentally, and sometimes even physically. They use manipulation, gaslighting, and other tactics to make sure they remain the center of attention. But here's the kicker. Their power over you only exists if you let it. And that's where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism, a powerful tool for inner peace. The Stoics believed that the key to a peaceful and fulfilling life lies in focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. This is one of the central teachings of Stoicism, and it's particularly useful when dealing with difficult people, like narcissists. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." So how do we apply this wisdom when faced with the toxic behavior of a narcissist? 1. Mastering your reactions, the key to freedom. When a narcissist tries to provoke you, whether it's through criticism, manipulation, or passive-aggressive behavior, the Stoic response is to pause and reflect before reacting. Remember, you are in control of your emotions. The narcissist might try to make you feel angry, guilty, or ashamed, but you have the power to choose how to respond. Think about it like this. You're standing in a storm. The wind is howling and the rain is pouring down, but you're safe and dry inside a sturdy house. The storm is the narcissist's behavior, but your mind is that house. The storm cannot harm you unless you step outside into the chaos. Epictetus put it simply, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about them." In other words, it's not the narcissist's words or actions that cause you distress. It's how you interpret them. If you can train yourself to respond calmly and rationally, rather than react emotionally, you take away the narcissist's power over you. Practical example. Let's say a narcissistic colleague criticizes your work in front of others, trying to make you look bad. Your initial reaction might be to feel embarrassed or defensive, but instead of reacting immediately, pause. Ask yourself, is this criticism really about me, or is it about their need to feel superior? By detaching from the situation emotionally, you can respond with grace and composure, perhaps saying something like, "Thank you for your feedback. I'll consider it." This diffuses the situation and shows that you're not easily rattled. 2. not adding rocks to your backpack. Now let's revisit that image of the backpack. Every time the narcissist says something hurtful or tries to manipulate you, it's like they're adding a rock to your backpack. The more you internalize their negativity, the heavier that backpack becomes. Soon it feels like a burden you can barely carry. But here's the Stoic truth. You don't have to carry those rocks. You have the power to stop adding them to your load. This means recognizing that the narcissist's words and actions are a reflection of their issues, not yours. When you let go of the need for their approval or validation, you lighten your emotional burden. Practical example. Imagine you're at a family gathering and a narcissistic relative starts criticizing your life choices, your job, your relationships, your appearance. Instead of taking their comments personally and carrying them around like emotional baggage, remind yourself that their opinions are just that, opinions. They don't define your worth. By not allowing their negativity to stick to you, you free yourself from their influence. 3. Setting boundaries, protecting your mental space. Stoicism isn't about being passive or allowing others to walk all over you. It's about maintaining your inner peace and acting in ways that align with your values. One of the most important tools in dealing with narcissists is setting boundaries, both emotional and physical. Setting boundaries means deciding what behaviors you will and will not tolerate and enforcing those limits consistently. It's about protecting your mental space and ensuring that the narcissist cannot disrupt your inner peace. Practical example. Let's say you have a narcissistic friend who constantly interrupts you, belittles your achievements, or turns every conversation into a competition. A healthy boundary might involve limiting the time you spend with them, or steering conversations away from topics that trigger their need for superiority. You might say, "I value our friendship, but I need to take a step back when the conversation turns negative. I want our time together to be enjoyable and respectful." 4. The narcissist's facade, seeing through the illusion. Narcissists create a carefully crafted image of themselves as being superior, whether through charm, intelligence, or success. This facade is not just for show. It's a defense mechanism to protect them from facing their own vulnerabilities. But as a Stoic, you are trained to see things as they truly are, not as they appear to be. One of the core Stoic practices is seeking truth and peeling away the layers of illusion to reveal the reality beneath. Narcissists often rely on others to reinforce their inflated self-image, but you don't have to play that game. Instead of validating their exaggerations, you can gently question their narrative without directly confronting them. Practical example. Suppose a narcissistic colleague constantly brags about their achievements, often exaggerating the truth. Rather than challenge them head-on, which could lead to conflict, you might ask, "That sounds impressive. How did you come to that conclusion?" Or, "Can you explain how you achieved that result?" These questions are not meant to provoke but to encourage reflection. Over time, this subtle approach can help deflate their grandiose perceptions without creating unnecessary drama. 5. Embracing Stoic healing. It's okay to feel. Stoicism doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. On the contrary, it encourages us to acknowledge our feelings and then decide how to respond to them. When dealing with a narcissist, especially if it's someone close to you, like a parent or partner, it's normal to feel hurt, disappointed, or even angry. You might grieve the loss of the loving relationship you deserve but haven't received. This process of mourning is natural, and it's important to allow yourself to go through it. Stoicism teaches us that while we shouldn't let our emotions control us, we also shouldn't ignore them. Recognize your feelings, understand them, and then make rational decisions about how to proceed. Practical example. Let's say you've decided to distance yourself from a narcissistic family member. While this might be the healthiest choice for your well-being, it can still be painful. You might feel guilt, sadness, or a sense of loss. Instead of trying to push those feelings away, acknowledge them. Consider seeking therapy, expressing your emotions through writing or art, or talking to trusted friends. These actions aren't about avoiding the situation, but about processing it in a healthy way. 6. The inner citadel, building your sanctuary. One of the most powerful concepts in Stoicism is the idea of the inner citadel. This refers to the fortress of inner strength and peace that you build within yourself. No matter what happens in the external world, whether it's a narcissist's manipulations, life's challenges, or unexpected hardships, your inner citadel remains unshaken. The Stoics believe that true happiness comes from within, not from external circumstances or other people's approval. By focusing on cultivating your inner citadel, you create a space where the narcissist's actions cannot reach you. This doesn't mean isolating yourself emotionally, but rather building a foundation of self-worth and resilience that no one else can tear down. Practical example. Imagine you're in a situation where a narcissist tries to provoke you into an argument. Instead of getting drawn into the drama, retreat into your inner citadel. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that their behavior doesn't define you, and choose not to engage. This doesn't mean you ignore the situation, but you respond from a place of calm and strength, not from anger or frustration. 7. The role of therapy, Stoicism, and self-reflection. If you've spent a lot of time in a toxic relationship with a narcissist, therapy can be an incredibly helpful tool for healing and growth. Stoicism encourages self-reflection, and therapy provides a space where you can explore your emotions, understand your reactions, and work towards healthier ways of interacting with the world. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, said, "No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have." This wisdom applies perfectly to the therapeutic process. Therapy helps you shift your focus from seeking external validation to finding strength and peace within yourself. In therapy, you can unpack the beliefs that may have kept you tied to the narcissist, such as the need for their approval or the hope that they'll change. By working through these beliefs, you free yourself from the narcissist's control and begin to rebuild your life on your own terms. Practical example. Suppose you've always sought validation from a narcissistic parent, believing that if you just tried harder, they'd finally give you the love and approval you crave. In therapy, you can explore this belief and recognize that the problem isn't you. It's their inability to provide healthy love. This realization can be incredibly freeing, allowing you to detach from their control and focus on your own growth. Apathia, freedom from disturbance. Apathia, in Stoicism, refers to a state of being free from passion or disturbance. It doesn't mean you don't feel emotions, but rather that you don't let those emotions dictate your actions. When dealing with a narcissist, practicing apathia can be a game changer. The narcissist may try to provoke you, manipulate your emotions, or draw you into conflict. But when you practice apathia, you can remain calm and composed no matter what they throw at you. This doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. It means you acknowledge them and then choose not to let them control you. Practical example. Let's say a narcissist in your life is trying to push your buttons, saying things designed to make you angry or defensive. Instead of reacting emotionally, you pause. You take a deep breath, acknowledge the emotions rising within you, and then respond calmly, or choose not to respond at all. This ability to stay calm in the face of provocation is the essence of apathia, and it's a skill that can be cultivated through mindfulness and self-awareness. Conclusion: your path to freedom and peace. As we come to the end of this journey, let's reflect on the powerful lessons Stoicism offers us in dealing with narcissists and in life as a whole. Remember, you have the power to choose your responses. You are the guardian of your mental space, and no one can disturb your peace unless you allow them to. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can control how we respond. By mastering your reactions, setting boundaries, and cultivating your inner citadel, you can protect your peace and live a life of strength and resilience. Whether you're dealing with a narcissist or facing any other challenge in life, the wisdom of the Stoics is here to guide you. Take these lessons to heart, and remember, your peace of mind is your sanctuary, a fortress that no external force can breach without your consent. Now, as we wrap up today's discussion, I encourage you to continue exploring these profound concepts. Check out the playlists on your screen for more Stoic wisdom, and if you found value in today's video, please consider subscribing to our channel, sharing this video with someone who might need it, and giving it a like. Together, we can continue this journey of personal growth and empowerment, grounded in the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Remember, you're not alone on this path. Let's keep learning, growing, and thriving together. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep building your inner fortress.